All right, hello, welcome everybody. Welcome to Bitfarms Day at the Talking Investing live stream with Tom and George.
I'm
Although you
George.
can't see George, but you'll be able to in 20 seconds.
You don't want to see me because I'm a wreck.
I think they might be able to see you by now. I
I'm a
forgot to
wreck.
press the button as usual.
I'm a wreck. I'm not good at working outside.
Well, it's not easy down here.
No, it's not.
They don't make it easy.
Tom, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't think it would happen for Bit Farms.
Well, just about half of the day today, I didn't think it was going to happen either. Let me go to the... I thought I had that pulled up. I mean, this got... Look at today's range. It got down to 1.00000.
We can't let him do it to us again.
It was...
Tell your friends, tell your family. Can you imagine that no work got done today at Bit Farms? I'm telling you right now.
It spent half the day like within a half a penny. And then you could see there was a increase in volume and a push at the end of the day here. Somebody said, "That's it. We're getting this thing done." And that was that.
Yeah. No, I can't even imagine the things that were flying around. They probably have Slack as an internal channel. And they were just like, buy it, help us.
This was pretty much a little bit of a red day. We'll look at the charts, but, and Bitcoin only finished up. It pulled back 3 cents, like, at $3.59. They got it back from, like, $1.08 to $1.05, but that still wasn't enough. And now it's up to $1.11 after hours, so...
And I'm telling you, I don't think it's going to stay there, Tom.
You think it's going to go up or down?
I think it's going to get pumped for a little bit. I definitely think it's going to get pumped for a little bit, but I think when disaster happens in Argentina, there's going to be some issues.
Well, yeah,
this is going to be a bumpy road. Let's put it that way.
It is going to be a bumpy road. I agree with that, but I think the first move is up. I think the shorts have been trying to keep this under $1. They battled almost the 180 days. They battled it out.
But so 7 hours ago, Bitfarm receives permit to power up to 100 megawatts in Argentina. Oh, hey, Argentina, can somebody turn on the power, please?
Do we have anybody on the stream who lives in Argentina or is near Argentina? We were looking at what's going on there, and it's a little bit disturbing. I mean, obviously, there's the angle of what Bitfarms is doing there, and they're getting their operations up and running. But, they just raised their interest rates 300 basis points to 81%. Their inflation's over 100%. So, something's gone wrong in Argentina. I'm wondering if anybody on the stream happens to be in the neighborhood and can tell us a little bit about, the inside scoop. Oh, and while everybody's at it, if you could please be so kind as to smash the like button while we're on the live stream. It helps, makes a big, giant difference. Sourmelon Gaming Bitfarms will continue to crash upwards.
No, I think it's going to be a very good week for Bitfarms. But I'm just saying, you can't be in business in a third world country and expect the lights to stay on.
That's what I want to get a sense of, because here's the thing.
It does not happen.
If you notice, originally, 2022, they were going to get their entire facility up and running in Argentina. The first 100 megawatts, and then there was talk about the next 110 megawatts. But instead, they only did 50 megawatts. So they pretty much shut it down for a year. So now, today, and I do think many of you probably have pointed out, it was no coincidence that this is day 10. This was the day they needed to put in the books to finish over $1, and they put out a big giant press release about how what great things are coming. So I don't know what really is going to come in Argentina. I'm not sure. Theoretically, as their inflation spirals, the energy should be cheaper and cheaper for Bitfarms. But to George's point, is there going to be energy?
I don't know. That could be interesting. Hey, at least you don't need it, they don't need to ever be there as long as their machines are running. They're just going to have to cut a deal with who's ever in charge of that area. And I ain't talking about the police.
Alex said, "Don't cry for me, Argentina."
Don't cry for me, Argentina.
I spent a week in Buenos Aires in February, and it was absolutely beautiful. The people are so friendly. I feel so bad as regular people are just being screwed by corrupt government. Familiar story.
What? That doesn't happen. Fake. That's all I'm saying.
It's Gorilla saying, doesn't Argentina have like 200% inflation and 85% interest? Yeah, I mean, they're saying the stuff that I read, they're somewhere, about 110% inflation. They just raised their interest rates to 81%, which effectively means it's over.
Look at that. Bitfarms on a tear after hours. On a tear.
Bitfarms on fire.
I wonder if like some major people can get into it now. You know what I mean?
I think that just a lot of the short pressure, a lot of the people who have been fighting tooth and nail, and it's interesting because they didn't put up much of a fight today. If you look at the volume, it was within the margin of error, almost exactly the average daily volume. So, and that's with a heavy emphasis at the end of the day, pushing it up. So,
you know what? I hate to say this, but we should start keeping track of how many countries are on the brink of collapse. Because I think there's a few other ones, isn't there?
I'm sure. I mean, I don't know that anybody's in the situation that Argentina is. Mokonut said Argentina was a powerhouse at the turn of the 20th century. Obviously declined now. Good example of what could happen here in the U.S. Yeah, these are real world things that are happening. Yeah.
This is crazy when you stop to think about it. I can't go there.
All right, we got Chris Dominator, who the first part of this doesn't surprise me, but the second part does. Bitfarms is going back to 39 cents. I'm not surprised he said that, but he said Marathon's going back to $3. Chris, I thought you were a big Marathon fan. But you are 100% on the sidelines right now in cash, and you're not alone. I know a bunch of people said that on Friday's live stream. So it seems like there's a lot of people sitting on the sidelines waiting for the next shoe to drop.
I think Chris is just mad because he's out. You just got out last week, didn't you, Chris? Nothing wrong with swing trading this, but I'm sorry. I just heard something that was crazy, and I want to verify it before I give you false reporting.
Oh, you better verify.
It's like one of those things.
I
am looking forward to something, and it just happened.
All right. Are you
Friday,
can you tell us?
May 5th, 2023 is a lunar eclipse.
A lunar eclipse?
I'm not saying, but I'm saying.
You're not saying, you're just saying.
Could be interesting on that day. Didn't you say, isn't everybody saying the 5th and the 6th anyways already?
Well, it's Cinco de Mayo. It's a lunar eclipse. What time's that happen?
11:14.
I guess it depends where you are.
11:14 Eastern Standard New York time.
All right.
That's crazy.
So Argentina Central Bank hikes interest rates to 81%. So we're here worrying about, whether it's going to be 5% or 5.25%. They're at 81%.
Solar eclipse is going to be October 14th. Wow. Wow.
What, solar eclipse?
Yeah.
Those are much less frequent.
Yeah, let me call it crash before I even see a crash.
Jeff is saying a lot of sideline sitters are going to be FOMOing in a few weeks. Martin saying, I'm buying everything I can scrape together.
This is not financial advice, what I'm going to say for the month of May, but I can't believe I'm going to tell you this because you guys will think I'm lunatic. I believe Bitcoin will get into the 40s next month. We should
Bitcoin 40-something thousand.
Next month.
Wow.
I'm not saying it's going to stay there by any stretch of the...
But you're saying we're going to get a bounce, and then we're going to get a crash.
And you know why I think we're going to get a bounce?
Why?
You know why?
Do I don't know. Why is that?
Bitcoin conference.
Oh, yeah, that's been your theory all year. The Bitcoin conference. That's right. That's like the third week in May. So that could be Chris Dominator saying, George, I sold Marathon at $12.10. So that was pretty darn close. Without looking, I'm going to say that was very close to the absolute top. So nice work, Chris.
Yeah, that is amazing.
Barry saying...
Wait, stop. Unless you bought it at $45.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I guess it all depends where your entry point was.
Right. Because I was in Bitcoin Marathon for a little while.
I mean, some people bought Marathon at $80. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Let's see. People forget that 2023 has been buy the dip all year long. This is from Sanity's Eclipse. Selling the rips have been wrong all 2023. I don't expect that to change. New year, new narrative. The time to sell the rips was in 2022. Jeff said, breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. Oh, come on. The Jets got Aaron Rodgers. On an unrelated topic, Jeff is now reporting the Jets got Aaron Rodgers. So as if the Buffalo Bills didn't have a hard enough schedule.
Yeah,
now
but
they got to play Aaron Rodgers twice a year.
No, I'm not too worried about him. He's pretty much done.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome to Talking Investing.
He is. How old is he?
No, the question isn't how old is he. It's how good is he.
If he does not have a good...
All right. Welcome to Talking Investing.
If he does not have a good offensive line, he's all over. He's done.
Methodic. Thank you very much. Methodic gifted a Talkin' Investing membership. Let's see if I can figure out.
He did 5. Thank you, buddy.
Oh, gifted 5. My mistake. Gifted 5 Talking Investing memberships. Very much appreciated, Methodic. All right, welcome to Talking Investing.
So Chris Dominator is saying, no, George, Bitcoin conference has always had a dump, not pump. Look at history. But you know what? It's always the same until it's different.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, welcome to Talking Investing. Sanity's Eclipse, His Honor, Justin C., Terry Sharp, BLM. Thank you. Congratulations. You guys just got free 1-month membership to the Talking Investing Squad from Methodic. Thank you very much, sir.
I think we got to do... Chris, where do you think Bitcoin's going then? I think Bitcoin still has a little bit of a rough patch coming up, but I don't see it happening for a little bit longer.
What's
Wow, my average cost for Marathon is $378. No luck how I got that lucky. That's awesome, Sour.
That's excellent. I mean, if you look at today, this was... So, for those of you who are new, everyone else knows, the orange line, that is where Bitcoin was when the U.S. equity markets closed on Friday. So, that was at 27,264. So, you can see we were above that most of the weekend. We dipped below it once. The market opened. Where was the market open? Like here? No. Here? Here? Here?
I don't know.
Are we there yet? Oh, of course, this one. So this big green candle was the market open in the U.S. But you can see we did dip all the way down, and we actually this candle wick went under $27,000, and if I go to the 4-day or the 4-hour, you're going to see we haven't been under. This is the $27,000. The last day we were under that was almost 1 month ago. So, and we raced right back up from it. So, you know, it didn't stay there for long, but that was a little bit of a thing. So I don't exactly know what you call this pattern. This is the...
Looks like the middle finger pattern.
This is the Bitcoin's going to 25,000 pattern, possibly. Which means we should do our first poll.
Oh, I'm so beat. Go ahead. Tell me the poll. I put in tile today at my house. I put in one of those freestanding tubs, floating tubs. Don't like it. I mean, it looks nice and all that.
Did you put a deck or anything, or you just
No.
put the and then you tiled the walls?
No, no, no. I'm going to tile the walls after I move the plumbing tomorrow. But I just put in the floor, tile floor.
Oh,
it just
gotcha.
sits in the middle of the floor, but it has to be tiled.
All right, super simple poll. Next stop for Bitcoin: 35K, 25K. This is our normal poll. This is our standard issue poll. Are we bullish? Are we bearish? What's going on? If we look at what happened today, so just to go through a few things, Cypher, I'm going to pull their chart up. They are pulling back, and I feel like that might not be done. They got overheated. I like them. I think they've got a great future ahead of them, but they ran up in a way that to me didn't make any sense, and they have a pretty significant pullback so far, and I'm not sure that
wait
it's
a
over.
second. Wait a second. Didn't I on Friday say I thought these stocks were a little overvalued right now?
You did.
And did you kind of see what happened to them all?
Well, we got a almost completely red day. Bitfarms ended up green. Iris Energy ended up green. DigiHost and Any. Everything else was, not tragically red, but CleanSpark was down 3%. Riot and Marathon, those are the two giants in the space by market cap anyway. Riot was down 1.24%. Marathon was only down 0.45%. So those had pretty mellow days, but Cypher was down almost 8%. Gree was down over 7%. We see 3s and 4s and 5s all over the place. So it was mostly a little bit of a down day. And really, you can see Bitcoin finished higher today than it did last Friday. So Bitcoin was up just a little, but the market, even the market rallied into the close. The S&P was almost flat. Dow was up 0.2. The NASDAQ, which is the one really that relates most to us, was down 0.29, but it was much lower than that earlier. And then the Russell down 0.15. So very sideways day. Oil up 1% at $78. It's pretty steady ship today.
I think it's just going to kind of be like this for a couple more days, maybe even all week.
That could be.
Unless some major news happens that I'm not aware of.
Like what would that be?
We discover aliens and they take Bitcoin.
Oh, if you don't, you can't answer that question because you're not aware of it.
No. Yeah, I know. I don't know. I mean, anything's crazy if you think about it.
Anything can happen. There's no doubt.
Right,
That's the no matter what other.
More Chris. At least, hey, everybody, hate on Chris, not on me. Just remember this, okay?
Duckman's asking, is Stronghold a buy? So let's drop in the chat if you think Stronghold is a buy. I like Stronghold a lot. I feel like I missed a big run up. It has pulled back a little bit. Let me...
And I agree. I mean, Bitcoin could honestly do anything this week. Tomorrow they could announce another bank. When do we get our next, any big news financially, Tom? CPI, any data, unemployment, any of the sham numbers,
We got the Fed meeting in 2 weeks, but we know, let's go to that. While you're asking, good question, George. The Fed meets on May 3rd. That's 2 weeks from now. We are now at 91.4% priced in a 25 basis point rate hike. That is what is happening, other than, like George said, if something catastrophically unseen happens, maybe something different. But at this point, we're getting a 25 basis point rate hike. There's still 8.6% chance, according to the futures, that, we get a 0. But I wouldn't hold my breath. I think this is pretty much locked in. So, because of that, it's really a non-event. It shouldn't move the market either. Once you're at 91%, getting the 25 basis points, well, at least it takes that tiny bit of uncertainty out of the market. But we are pretty much priced in. This is what's going to happen. Now, what would be a shocker is if they did 0 this time. And I will tell you, I would be completely stunned if they did 0 this time. So
they should do 0.
I'm not saying that they shouldn't. I'm just telling you I would be absolutely stunned, and I think the market would skyrocket if that happened.
Well, so I need to get my house listed before next. What day was it?
May 3rd.
Oh, okay. So I need to get my house listed ASAP. So this is how confident I think that we're going to have a crash. I'm finally going to sell in Florida. I don't know if that's a good thing or... time will tell if I did the right thing or not. But the thing that got me with Florida right now is this whole insurance thing's going to rear its ugly head. People are going to be priced out of this market.
Well, insurance, interest, property taxes, cost of housing. It's pretty tough right now. It's tough all over.
It's coming to a head, let's put it this way. Even though I did go on a nice little cruise. I did a sunset cruise over the weekend with my wife.
Very nice.
Her friends. And we went by... dude, I'm flabbergasted the houses you get to see on the coast.
Oh, yeah. It's pretty awesome.
It is unbelievable. If you guys have Google Earth, I shouldn't tell you this, but go to the coast of Naples and just pan in. It's insane.
Yeah, you can probably see it right there on Google. It's
not
quite the same as sitting in a boat, but...
I wonder if they did... This would be interesting. I'm going to go to Google Earth and see if a car went down the streets.
FV702, odds of doing 0, slim to 0. I completely agree. Sorry, George.
I know.
You think they may do 0? This is rate hike. Corey, I live in Kenya. Love the videos. My son and I watch together. Well, welcome, Corey. Thanks so much. And hello to Kenya. Glad to have you guys. Austin saying, "What if the Fed states they will pause?" So that is a piece of information. If they give the 25 basis points and then they come outright and say we're looking to stop, then that could be big news. Because I do think that there's still a pretty reasonable chance of one more rate hike after this. I think has a 50% chance of happening. So if they were to take that off the table, that would actually remove a lot of uncertainty from the market. So I think that would also be a big boost to the market. Methodical gifted another, is this true? Gifted another 5 memberships. Thank you very much, sir. And Cameron gets a membership, and Corey gets a membership, and Vector gets a membership. Biz101 gets a membership, and AG. Methodic, you're like Oprah. You get a membership. You get a membership. Welcome to Talking Investing.
Those were cars, Tom.
Well, you got to start somewhere.
I had good news. Great weekend. Good news. Good stuff.
All right,
People actually do what they say they're going to do, and it made me happy. How about that one?
Is that Are you reading something?
No, I'm just saying I got good
Oh.
news, and somebody did what they said they were gonna do.
All right, you got good news. Investing.
Yeah, I got good news.
Can you share your good news, or it's
No, just good news.
just it is what it is. It was good news, and
it was good news. Just
well,
can you do any better?
all right, welcome to Talking Investing. Congratulations to Raven said methodical is greater than Oprah. I agree. Or methodic, sorry. All right, welcome to Talking Investing.
Man, these guys are gotta be pissed that Google Earth went down their streets.
Methodic said this was for Corey and his kid, and Corey did get one of the gifted memberships, so it all worked out perfectly. Thank you so much, Methodical, or Methodic. I'm going to make that mistake another 1,000 times. Much appreciated. And anybody who has not hit the like button, please smash the like button so we can get this live stream going. We're at 49.
What was it? I'm trying to remember what it was, the FOMO thing for I Am George. I'm actually going to tell people about it.
Do
you know how I remember how to spell crypto? You're going to laugh how I remember how to spell crypto.
That one's not a very long one. Even I know how to spell crypto.
I know how to spell it, but I do my acronyms, okay? I just do it. So if you don't have it, you're going to be crying because it's paid time off. Paid time off. That's how they came up with it, just so everybody knows.
Cryptocurrency.
Crypto means if you don't have it, you're going to be crying because you don't have any paid time off.
I'm glad that helps you. It feels much harder to remember that than it just does to spell out crypto, but
it probably is.
You, George. You always do.
I got kicked out of Tom's date on Friday night, by the way.
You did not.
Did I go or did I not? I went and then I was no longer there.
That's all true.
I got kicked out. I kicked myself out, but
yes, you did.
So I was gonna jump up and do a Rambo, but instead I chilled.
This is a close poll. We've got a lot of votes, and it's very close. Next stop for Bitcoin. Right now, we've got 66 votes. 55% say 35K. 45% say 25K. I'm going to leave this open a little bit more. Uh-oh. C said, Tom's yelling and George is whispering.
Oh, that's probably best.
Hopefully, I'm not too loud for you guys. I'm a loud talker. Sorry, it's hereditary.
And I don't have much of a voice today because I worked.
Barry said at this rate, there'll be more members than viewers. What's going to happen during peak bull run when we are all millionaires? We're going to have a party for sure. If we can get the channel to 100,000, we should do some kind of event somewhere. Something. Miami. I don't want to go to Vegas. I don't want to get in trouble. I'll end up playing poker the whole time.
I actually see 4. About to buy in Ocala. You gonna buy in that fly-in community up there? Be next to John Travolta?
Is he in Ocala?
Yeah. I probably shouldn't know. I shouldn't know. It's really cool. He brings his he has like 2. He got a 737 or 727. I think it's 737. And then he has a little like Mustang Citation. And he pulls them right up to his door, like they're part of his house. It's the neatest thing ever.
Well, that's how the other 0.001% lives.
100K is coming, Tom. You better hire more mods for the Discord. That should be the question. All right, is Tom going to get to 100K? This should be the next vote. Is Talking Investment going to get to 100K? Or
You
is
want?
Bitcoin going to get to 100K first?
Oh,
Who's
which
gonna
one
get there
gets there first?
Yes, which one gets there
Nice.
first?
Are you ready? This is 70 votes, and it's virtually a tie. You want to call it on this one?
Is it really?
35,000.
Okay, how would you vote?
How would I have voted on this?
Yeah.
I mean,
Or do you make it an even tie?
I'm super conflicted. I think we're going to 35 and then beyond, but if we bounced off of 25, it would be no surprise to me at all. The momentum has slowed. I'm still definitely very bullish, so in the next 30 to 60 days, I think I'm with you, George. I think we could go way past 30. 30, 35. We could see 40, but that bounce off of 25,000 would almost be like, so that would almost be.
No, like news like this could hurt it. Like somebody just typed in, sorry, I don't remember who said it, that First Republic Bank just is down big after hours.
They reported after hours. I didn't even look to see how they did.
They're down almost 19%. And this is what gets me, is because the hedge fund people knew. They know. They knew they had a good estimate of what it was going to be, and they just drove this price up today 12%, right?
Oh, was it up 12% during the day, and then it's crashing after? How much is it down after hours?
It went to $16 it closed at. Right now it's at $13.18.
Ooh, ouch.
And this is here's a great example of how these guys work. They knew what was going on.
See, but to me, that's a stock I wouldn't get within 10,000 feet of.
Yeah, me either.
Now, there's a lot of people, if you're a day trader or a scalper, a lot of people probably made a lot of money on that. Everybody else lost a lot of money on that. So, if you know what you're doing, congratulations, God bless you. But for me, that's not my thing, and those are the kind of stocks where I stay away from or I get burned.
But,
for instance, Bed Bath & Beyond was trading for 18 cents today.
So, but here's what I'm saying, though. This First Republic Bank, it could go down, you could see 30%, right? And this could be an event that would make Bitcoin not go down to 25,000 right now. You see what I'm saying?
If people got nervous about the regional banks again.
Yes, yeah.
Right.
See, now it's down 21.5%. People are plummeting. It's plummeting.
Your point, George, this day right here, which was March 10th, Bitcoin was having a big pullback, and that's when we had a bank failure and then another one, and it just stopped in its tracks.
Yeah.
I think we were going lower.
Yeah.
Those banks stopped this and put the bull run back on. I do think we were going to bounce off of a lower point and keep going up, but I think we were headed lower than this, and it just stopped dead in its tracks and turned around. So you're right. If we get some kind of bad news like that, same type of scenario could happen.
And actually, I'm thinking that's going to happen right now, by the way. I think that it's going to turn because Bitcoin trades, and I mean, guys, I know as much or as little as you do. I don't know. But when Bitcoin happens, it seems to have two daily moves, and it's at 9 p.m. and 9 a.m. I don't know. I mean, I sit here and, like everybody else, look at it probably more than I should. And I've found that 9 o'clock in the morning and 9 o'clock at night are the two times it pumps.
And we're Eastern Standard Time.
And so, you get news like that with a bank, whether it's justified or not, I think that could create a pump.
I still think we're bullish. Let me go back to the 1 day because you can't tell anything on the 15-minute. In fact, well, let's just do one of these. I got a million lines on this thing, but you can see, I mean, this was November 21st. This was the bottom. So, even if I go to here, but I'm more tempted to say, this is the kind of momentum we're having. So that has not changed. We're having higher highs, higher lows. We're moving up. we have a little pullback. We went up more than, remember, this line was a 100% increase from November 21st. So we candle wicked above a 100% move in Bitcoin. So all we've pulled back, I'm going to get rid of that. We've only now pulled back from the absolute high here to right now we're down, call it 12%. And if we were to go all the way down to 25, let's go to exactly 25. So that'd be 19 and a half, call it a 20% pullback. So nothing unusual about a 20% pullback. That's why I'm not taking it off the table. But we could just as easily, if all the technicals to me are just showing no momentum in either direction. So, in the short term. So I don't know, today, tomorrow, the next day. You always hope it goes up. I'm an optimist. I know a lot of you actually from time to time hope it goes down so you can get some more shares of stuff. So, that's true too, because my positions are an awful lot bigger today because of the time Bitcoin spent going down, not the time it's spent going up.
And I think, Chris, to your point, I'm not 100% feeling confident in Bitcoin right at the moment. But I do see good metrics for next month because you've got to remember we keep expanding with wallets. That's huge. And consolidation, there's more wallets dormant than there are active. Lastly, hang on, here comes my dog.
Here comes the
Uh-oh, can you hear? Stop it! My dogs sit there and bark all the time. Lastly, is something dramatic could happen in the financial world and you miss it. And that's the only thing that scares me. You know what I mean? That's the thing that scares me. If you're out on the sidelines and just something happens that you don't plan, or that's how Bitcoin works, is something's going to happen that isn't planned, that none of us even been talking about today, right? And then bada boom, bada bing, it's off. It's off to the races.
That's the scary part of the market,
Yeah.
and it goes in both directions. You can be on the
Right.
sidelines and miss a big run. You can be in, because you're either dollar cost averaging or confidence is high, and then all of a sudden something bad happens out of left field. So this is a scary place to be. This is a risk. All investments come with a risk, and that is something that hopefully, I know that most people on this channel are at least intermediate type investors, but just it's always worth reminding yourself there is risk with everything. There is no sure thing. I don't care how convinced you are that something's going to do what it's going to do. You never know.
No, you just don't. You just don't. And you never know what's going to come out of this executive orders either. You don't know. I mean, they could be bad things. But good things happen in Europe. Did you hear about that, Tom?
No, what good thing happened in Europe?
Tom, you're in the crypto world. You need to know this.
I was teeing it up for you.
They're starting to become crypto friendly.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, you do know.
They're Well, it sounded like you did not want to run with it. So, yeah, I mean, it's not a done deal yet, but I think the entire EU is going to come together on some crypto rules for exchanges. So, again, I think they got to vote on it. I'm not exactly sure where in the process they are, but it seems to me like at this point it's a done deal. It just, they got to finish the process.
Wow.
And, so some of these crypto exchanges, Binance in particular, well, not Binance in particular, Binance and Coinbase may both be taking a close look. If there's adoption in the EU and the UAE is very crypto friendly, either the US follows along or gets left behind, in my mind. So I think they're more likely to follow along than they are to get left behind. That's my thought process. But, something, maybe that's the catalyst to get these guys moving. And I'm talking about Congress, really, because Gensler has his way.
I mean, all of a sudden, Gensler could get fired. Gensler could retire. I mean, there's a million things that could happen.
I've heard a lot of
job.
Genslers getting fired rumors.
Yeah, I know, but he could. I mean, he could.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying, and I think that's good for Bitcoin. Who is? He's Chamath. Chamath.
See
Tech
who?
investor Chamath. I don't know. I've seen him on time. He's saying that crypto is dead in America, which I agree. But there's a ton of new projects that are kicking off now. They're just not being done in the United States.
Well, I think it's premature to write off cryptocurrency in the U.S. We're at some max FUD right now, and but the louder the noise gets, the closer I think we are to the finish line. So some stuff is coming.
Do your little end this poll and let's do the next one.
All right, this poll was very close. So we're a little tiny bit bullish. 56% think we're going up. 44% think we're going down. 81 votes. Thank you for participating. Participation is free. What's our next poll?
What gets to Bitcoin faster? Tom's channel of Bitcoin. We don't need to do that.
Yeah, because that's going to be a runaway. That should.
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin what?
I'm gonna just this week I'm putting a lot of money into exchanges. I'm just spreading my risk over multiple ones.
Are you going to put them in exchanges as stable coins, or are you going to buy crypto?
Yes. I'm going to
Yes.
probably put it in stable coins in the beginning and then move it into certain ones.
Don't forget to smash the like button, everybody. Sorry for being a pest, but it helps the live stream out a lot while we are live. So we're at 59 likes. We've been usually getting to 100, so much appreciated. It's free.
Woof, 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 woof.
Yeah,
Woof, woof.
Wolf cleared they got a clear path. FV702 Wolf, $1.20. So today they were down a little bit, but, not much going on today. And so are you saying you think Wolf's going to $1.20? Yeah, Wolf to $1.20. So that'd be a pullback, but even still, $1.20 would be way up. FV702, thank you very much for the super chat. FV702 asks, how many more interest hikes this year? I see 1 full %.
That's a good poll.
So FV702 sounds like you're saying you're all cash right now. So there's a lot of people sitting on the sidelines. Let's do that poll. FV702 will do a poll. All right.
So what are you going to do? How many more?
I'm going to say total remaining interest rate hikes.
So how many more meetings are there, first of all?
Here, let me show you the schedule. So we've got May 3rd, June 14th, July 26th, September 20th, November 1st, December 13th.
So how many is that?
That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So that's only 4. Wow.
But I'm gonna.
That would be another full point from what are we right now?
That's how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna put 0, 25 basis points. It's only going to let me do 4, I think.
I would do 25, 50, 75, 1.
Instead of 0?
Yeah,
nobody thinks 0.
No one's, he's not doing 0. Not
Good call.
with 4. I mean, let's be honest, people.
Let's be real. If you think it's 0, then you can protest and abstain from the... All right, let's see. Okay, so let me go.
That's very good. I'm telling you, you're right.
Total. Whoops. Let me see if I can edit that. All right, so everybody, that's supposed to say total remaining interest rate hikes, not remaking. So that's my typo. So 25 basis points, 50 basis points, 75 basis points, or 100 basis points. Those are our choices. Let's see what
I
the
did.
people
I
think.
did 75. I can see, every other one. Because at the end of this year, man, it is just going to be brutally ugly at the end of this year.
I'm not going to say anything about the poll until it's over, but I'll tell you.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm going to say. Is I'm just saying that it's going to be brutally ugly by the end of the year.
But what's that
And
mean
I won't
for
say.
interest
I
rates?
won't say what I know you're going to say. Let's put it that way.
All right, fair enough.
Listen to this. Wisdom said 61.8 fib for a BTC correction now at 20. Also a CME gap around 19.5. Sadly, we are heading in that direction. That's so true. I'm telling you. I might start buying into this Fibonacci thing. It's probably
It's
more
your
crazier
favorite
than
thing
the
of all
moon.
time.
It's probably more crazier than the moon. Sorry.
It's the Fibonacci numbers. They're everything.
Bitcoin 30. Crypto Craig. Bitcoin 34.5 by early May. 55 end of June. Cha-ching.
Ah, I'll vote for that. I would take that if they said agreed. Boom, I would agree to that. But I'm not giving anything in exchange for that.
Yeah, I mean, everybody knows that an election is next year, correct? And the problem is they're going to do everything they possibly can to stimulate this economy all the way up until November of next year. So, I mean, so you and I are in the same thought process here at the end of this year. They have to. Because remember, most of the data that they're looking at is usually 3 months old anyways. You see what I'm saying?
I'm gonna reserve my answer, but I will check in right now. Total remaining interest rate hikes right now in the lead is 25 basis points.
And that's it.
That's in the lead. We only have 29 votes, so there's more votes, and we need more. If you guys could please be so kind as to smash the like button if you're able to.
I'm still waiting to see if I like it or not. So.
I don't know what we said. I think YouTube is suppressing our stream today.
Yeah.
What did you say, George?
You know what's so funny is we get locked. We talked about Argentina, and as soon as you talked about Argentina, they don't want that getting out. And so, but what happens is you get like a 30-minute timeout or a 45-minute timeout.
I think they put us in timeout and they're not showing us to anybody. But if so,
yeah, that's
do
exactly
us a favor,
what
smash
happens.
the like button. I blame ourselves. We put ourselves in timeout.
No, yeah, I mean you can't say that word.
It would be nice if you could,
I bet you that's the word. The buzzword is Argentina. So that's why I keep saying Argentina.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're not helping. If that
Argentina.
is the buzzword, then this is not.
All the people that need to be here are here. That's all that matters.
That's right. Good point.
Deflation next year. I hope so.
When is the next CPI data coming out, and what is the expected number? That's Martin asking that. I don't know what they're expecting. That usually comes out, what, like 10th, 12th, 14th, somewhere around there? Let's just look it up. May 10th. Okay, so May 10th predicts headline inflation to increase to 5.2%. Hold on a minute. I don't believe that. And where's my normal?
Do 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 do.
Okay, so we went from 6 all the way down to 5. And now, so they're not saying what consensus is, but the TE forecast is 4.9. I mean, it's hard to believe we got, starting from last June, we got July 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 months in a row of this going down. I mean, I will be surprised. I don't know what they're going to fill in as consensus here, but I would be surprised if it doesn't start with a 4. That is my opinion. But this was a big drop. If it goes in the other direction, that could be a rough number. But again, what's it going to mean? Because they really can't. Let's say it does go in the wrong direction. It's just simply going to be bad news because the Fed can't, you know, it's not like they'll go, okay, we're going to do a bunch more rate hikes. They're just, in my opinion, they're pretty boxed into what they can do. There's a ceiling here. But it could mean one extra one versus not an extra one. So I guess it's still, so that's an important day, May 10th. So May 3rd, we got the Fed. May 10th, we got CPI. FE702, I click thumbs down to mess with the algorithm. I think that helps.
I do.
You gotta have, yeah, you gotta have some people like it, some people don't like it. This is another natural dip, said Raven. So I think he's saying buy now. Keep in mind too, the revised previous numbers have been going down too. Right, that's a good point. They revise, you know, they don't just give you the number, they revise the previous numbers. So on a lot of these, which is mystifying to me, they should, I don't know how you have confidence in a number when you know it could be revised anywhere from 1 to 3 more times. Did I mention that Bitfarms closed over $1 today? Where's the Bitfarms? Where'd he go?
Good news, good news, good news.
Where is it? So, there's our 10 days. This is Bitfarms. There's our 10 days. And then, so, I'm just going to look at this chart for a minute because if you look at what's going on here, first of all, this got down to a point that was absolutely absurd. 37.77 cents is nonsense. Let's see if that was the actual, or if it looks like 38 cents was the actual low. So anyway, so we're way up from that, but I'm not even counting that. You know, to be, if you look at this, here's some of my personal price targets. That's a 124% increase. That's to get back to where it was in August of 2022 when Bitcoin was at $25,000. Now, if you go back another month, it would have to go up 200% to go back to May of 2022. But Bitcoin was at like $35,000 at that point. But it does look like there's a good chance we may take a run up to Bitcoin 35,000. So, you know, is Bitfarms a better company a year later now that it has $20 million in debt instead of $165 million in debt? It's got more exahash. They have good operation. You guys know I'm bullish on Bitfarms, but maybe
I think that this is good news. Only thing I would do differently is move my headquarters.
For Bitfarms?
Yep.
To the US?
Yep.
To get access to that money?
You got it.
Well, and that's what I know everybody's kind of really put off by HUT at the moment, but that's what they're trying to do, and I do think that would make a big difference for them. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Ricky said, any videos you're working on, Tom? Yeah, there's a bunch of videos I'm working on. The two that For the members, you're going to get, I just have to do my final watch through, but it's done. The Palantir video is done for members only, so that will post tonight. I also have gone through the brutal, painstaking process of calculating the cost per coin for each one of the Bitcoin miners in the fourth quarter. And the fourth quarter is the wrong way to say it. In the 3 months ended December 31st, 2022, which is the calendar year fourth quarter, but a lot of these Bitcoin miners do not use a calendar year. So I want to be careful not to say the fourth quarter. The period ended December 31st, 2022. These I will tell you, you know, I'm glad I left public accounting because you know, nothing, no offense, but those were some pretty rough financial statements. I'm not sure what's going on. These companies need to get better at doing what they do and presenting their financial information. I found blatant errors. I'm not going to name names of companies, but I mean, there were just, you could see, like, you do a cross check with numbers and they don't work. So it's like, which one's wrong? The press release, the 10K, I don't know, but it was painstaking, and some of them I just had to take my best guess because, like I said, depending on the info I used, I'd come up with 2 or 3 different numbers. So anyway, I think it's pretty clear, other than I will tell you DigiHost has some explaining to do. Their cost per coin went ballistic in the 3 months ended December 31st. So something is either seriously wrong. And my issue with them is, you know, you guys know in a 10K, they do management's discussion. In addition to that, they get to do a press release and talk about what goes on. They didn't mention it at all. I mean, their price per coin like tripled. It was almost like $40,000 per coin. And there's no mention of it or explanation of it at all in their 10K, in their financials, in their management's discussion, in their press release. They just go, well, you know, the cost of energy was up a little. No, the cost of energy was not up so that it's cost you $38,000 a coin. That was the biggest anomaly I got. A lot of the other ones are starting to be a little bit consistent and make sense. So I do think, you know, every 3 months this list gets better and better. But I always put a caveat on this list that, you know, these are the numbers in the financial statements. And all these companies are at different stages. So James Ross said, good tip on Dutch Bros. Thank you. And that was from Jeff. How much Dutch Bros have I bought? None, Jeff. I've bought none, but I have not really been in a buying mood. I'm waiting for them to move to Florida. J Duff, thoughts on Palantir? So I did just do a Palantir video. It's going to be in the members only section for now, but I did also do some Palantir deep dives about 1 year ago. So those are still sitting on the channel. I'll tell you, it was that's a tough one. Everybody's got pretty strong feelings about that company. So I didn't hold back. You guys will see my thoughts and you can let me know what you think.
So Tom, do you think we've already hit the bottom of this stock market?
I don't know about the stock market. I think we've hit the bottom for Bitcoin in specific. I think we've probably hit the bottom in the cryptocurrency world overall. I think we've hit the bottom in Bitcoin. I do think we've hit the bottom in the market. And it's because, I'll tell you now that this is nearly over, what you guys probably all know I'm going to say. I think before the end of the year, the Fed is going to be lowering rates. So that is going to be very bullish for the market. It's going to be very bullish for Bitcoin. So yes, they are going to raise rates. So let's look. We got 53 votes. Right now, in first place by a mile. So this is the total remaining of all interest rate hikes. 25 basis points got 64%. 50 basis points got 19%. And then 75 basis points got 9%, and 100 basis points, a full percent, that got 7%. So, 84% of the people think it's 50 basis points or less. 65% of the people think it's 25. I think it's going to be 25 basis points. I do think there's a 50-50 chance that it could be 50 basis points, 225 rate hikes. But that, I think, is the absolute most they can possibly do, in my opinion. I think they start running into some other troubles, on the banking side of things, in addition, and other things on top of that. They're pressing their luck right now, and I don't know how much more effective these interest rate hikes would be anyway. So I think we're almost done. I think they're going to be lowering interest rates. They're going to be quantitative easing. There's going to be checks in the mail, right? It's going to be raining money again. Maybe not full-blown all the way to where it was last time, but I think that's the direction we'll be in. And I'm not saying, 2 months from now. I'm saying in the fourth quarter of 2023, I think that's what the world is going to look like. So that's far away. We'll see what happens when we get there, but that's my opinion. So I would have voted 25, but I could see 50. That's pretty reasonable. George, what was your vote? I don't know if George, he might be on a conference call right now. So I'm going to end this poll. We got almost 60 votes. Thank you again, everybody, for participating. Thanks for smashing the like button. I think we're out of timeout on the live stream, so if anybody else wants to smash the like button, it looks like they put us back out into the world. So I appreciate it. It's free to smash the like button. Patrick is saying 0% rate hike is my bet. So I didn't put 0 on the list, but you're not alone, because if we look, the futures are pricing in an 8.6% chance that we get 0 rate hike. So that's not off the table. I will be very surprised, and I think that would be extremely bullish. And not because I think 25 is the right thing to do, just based on the sum total of everything they've said over the last 2 years. If they went to 0 right now, they've got a credibility issue as it is, and I think that would be another blow. So that's my line of reasoning. Ryan said Cleanspark and Iris have the strongest fundamentals and management. So those are two companies I like. Cleanspark is one of my highest conviction out of all the Bitcoin mining companies. But Iris, I like Iris. They've done a good job. They did a bunch of restructuring. They're a much healthier company as a result, in my opinion. James Ross said, my current favorites are Cleanspark, Marathon, Wolf, and Any. Cleanspark and Mara are my long-term holds. So I like all those also. I think I'm in all of those. Cleanspark, Marathon, Wolf, and Any. And somebody earlier, I can't remember who it was, but they said, Tom, you must be happy about your move from Riot to Marathon. And I only moved a little bit, but yeah, that's working out in my favor. And I think a lot of people saw that coming the same way I did. So, and I think it's going to continue to play out that way. So I like both stocks. Riot's my number one overall conviction, although Cleanspark is not far behind it. But Marathon, I do think, has a long run up ahead of it. Wisdom Bites says anything greater than 0% will risk the economy, so the predicted rate hike will be revised nearer the time on the 3rd of May. If they come out and say something in the middle to tip their hand that they're going to do that, I just don't think they're going to surprise us on that day. So we'll see. I have no problem with 0. I just don't think it's what they're going to do. Thoughts on Riot? Are you buying right now? So I'm not buying right now. That is one of my biggest positions. At the beginning of the year, I did a list of my top 8 Bitcoin miners that I had the highest level of conviction in. Riot was number 1 on that list. And that doesn't mean I think they're the best Bitcoin miner. I just think the combination of risk-reward on January 1st was best for Riot. They've had a massive run-up. So I have sold a little bit. I very rarely sell, but I did sell a little, and with the proceeds, I bought Marathon because I was holding no Marathon. So, but I'm still equally bullish. For the most part, I've basically held my position on Riot, and I think there's a lot more room to run for both of those companies. James Ross said, I love Riot as well. I just do not own any at the moment. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to... There's some of these that I really, really like that I don't own either because, you know, you can only own so many. I'm already very, very heavy in Bitcoin miners overall in my portfolio. And, you know, some of them I feel like I missed the window and they are going to pull back. I will tell you guys, I'm going to pull up Cypher's chart because I really think it's not done pulling back. That's my opinion. But you'll see they've had, like, these guys ran up. So this was, what day was this? This was, oh, this is on the, hold on. Got to go to the 1 day. All right, so you know what? Even if we ignore all of this candle wick, so I'll do both. This thing ran up to $3.32. From there, it's now down 37%. But even if we just ignore that and say, you know, from here, and this point, as you can see, is right in line with this previous candle wick. So if we count from there down, you know, they're down 28 or 29%. But that is not the story. The story is that they are up 456% after that pullback. They're still up 456% from December 28th. They are the third largest by market cap, and they are much larger than Hut, who's fourth, and CleanSpark, who's fifth, and I think maybe Bitfarms is sixth. So Cypher, from a market cap standpoint, pulled away from all of those companies. And in my personal opinion, that doesn't make any sense. In particular, CleanSpark. You know, Cypher at one point was more than double the market cap of CleanSpark. I'm not sure if that's a little bit corrected itself or not, but let's look. So, and I'm just going to use these. These are typically reasonably close, although not perfect. The market cap per Yahoo is 291 million. For CleanSpark, so I think Cypher is no longer double, but it was 516 million. So still, you know, pretty significantly bigger from a market cap standpoint, and I can't find any line of reasoning where that makes sense as far as I'm concerned. So that's my opinion. You know, I'm not betting, I'm not shorting any of these stocks. So it's not like, you know, I'm going to go short on Cypher, but I'm not invested in Cypher because I feel like I missed the run up. This already ran up to $500 million. So I'm late. I missed it. I'll have to catch the next one. Ray said, hi, Tom and George. Hello, Ray. Welcome. FRC taking down financials tomorrow. Question mark. That's from FV702. That could be. Cypher is potentially the fastest horse amongst the miners for the next 2 to 3 years. Ignore at your peril. That is from Wisdom Bites. So I explained to you why I think there's going to be a pause or a pullback. That doesn't mean I don't think that they're going to run up big time. I think, like I said, I certainly wouldn't short any of these stocks because I think they're all underpriced. But if you compare who's the most underpriced, it's not Cypher in my opinion. So that's a company I like and I'm not invested in. There's several of those. The one company I am worried about that I do want to get to the bottom of is I don't understand DigiHost's costs in the fourth quarter of 2022 are very concerning to me. They're all over the place. And DigiHost, I'm going to check them out because they've had a similar run up. So if you look at DigiHost from their low 2 days later, December 30th, so basically the same time, they are now, they're up 436%. So very similar. I mean, they're up 400. Yes, they were oversold, but they're up 436%. And they just put out a financial statement that, without actually saying so, if you do the math, it looks like they're losing like $15,000 or $20,000 per coin. That's before depreciation and overhead, so, and interest and anything else. That's just their direct, energy cost, and they have to. A lot of what they're doing is in joint ventures, so they have to share some of the profits. So, but I still can't figure out how their cost could possibly be where it is. I think somewhere there's going to be an explanation. I don't have it. You guys, anybody that wants to do a deep dive on those financials, you're welcome to do so and let me know what you think. But probably that's a pretty boring task for most people. Martin saying, when does the coin cost video come out? So I'm 100% done with all the work. I have not recorded the video. And I'm double checking a couple of numbers. In the next couple days, in the next 1 or 2 days, that should come out, because I'm done with that video. Now, several companies have not put out their December 31st financials yet. So for those companies, I'm just going to tell, I'm going to list them and say, they have not put their numbers out. So obviously I can't calculate. And then the other company that I think is seems like a little bit of funny business is, who was that? Is Cypher. But they had just they'd only mined 117 Bitcoin. They did so through joint ventures. So I think it was premature to do a calculation on them. I might leave them off the list because the calculation doesn't make any sense. And that's often the case. Like, that's the first quarter they ever mined Bitcoin. So sometimes for the first few quarters, these numbers are wacky for other reasons until they, until they scale up to where they're at full operations. Stephen English said, was there a second XRP video? I have not done a second XRP video yet. James Ross said, Cosmic and Darren, I agree. CleanSpark has a proven track record of massive and smart growth. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. There's more and more. All of a sudden, 2023, so CleanSpark was really the only ones in 2022 that had a growth story. And that doesn't mean they're the only ones that added exahash. Almost all the Bitcoin mining companies, well, 2/3 of them, did increase their exahash in 2022, but they only did so with purchase orders that they made in 2021. CleanSpark was really the only company that actually went out and, on the spot bought a significant amount of exahash in 2022 that they had not purchased ordered. So they had the most growth by far as a percentage of new growth. And let's see. So they have a proven track record on that. Yeah. So they're continuing to do so this year. So now in 2023, we have a lot of companies that, for instance, Bitfarms today announced they're buying some machines. So they're buying, I think, 6,000 machines, 6,175. I don't know. I'll go look at the press release. Here, I think it's right here. So inside of all this information, this was a big press release. I did do a video on this today. If you have not seen my Bitfarms video, I recommend you guys watch this video because there was a lot in this one press release. But I'm going to go to, where is it? Okay. In anticipation of the permit approval, we recently purchased 6,200 new Bitmain and MicroBT miners. So 6,200, and I think they said that's going to be, 0.65 exahash. So, that's not even what this, that's not even what this press release is titled. That's just in addition to the stuff that they did, they also did that. So a lot of companies, maybe I'll do one video on all the companies that have gone out and started purchasing machines again, because 2022, that had just shut down completely. 2023, things seem to be back on again. Obviously, a part of that is a function of the fact that Bitcoin is behaving much, much better. It's a lot easier to buy machines and add rigs at Bitcoin 25 to 30,000 than it is at Bitcoin 15 to 20,000. Those numbers are game changing. And when you see the cost per coin, you're going to see there were some companies when Bitcoin was at $16,000 or $17,000. There were some companies that were losing money per coin from scratch. So, that was tough. And we did see a lot of self-curtailment near the bottom. Let's see. Ray is saying, Tom, can you do a poll? Lowest Bitcoin until the end of 2023. Okay, so okay. I've never done that poll before. Let's go. I'm going to just change the numbers a little bit. And then really, let's see. All right. Okay, new poll. So Bitcoin's low for the remainder of 2023. What do we think the lowest Bitcoin is going to hit for the rest of the year this year? And I put 27,000, so that's basically where it is right now. So that would mean you don't think it's getting any lower. 22 to 25,000, 18 to 22,000, or less than 18,000. So let's see what everybody thinks. We have not done this poll ever, so thanks for the recommendation. That's a good one. Thank you, Ray. Keith, CleanSpark is also very consistent. No surprises. I think CleanSpark's methodical. I think the two companies from an operational standpoint that have been the most methodical, again, operationally, not financially necessary, but operationally speaking, as we look at the monthly updates, I think that CleanSpark has been incredibly consistent. Bitfarms has been incredibly consistent. There are some others that have been consistent as well, but to me, those two stand out operationally. There's some others that stand out financially, and, there's some others that are a good combination of both. Cosmic Contrarian, CleanSpark at 16 exahash is going to be a monster. Right, so that's why I'm looking at, let me see if that's still, where did that go? So if you look at CleanSpark right now, it's at $291 million market cap. Now, CleanSpark does not have the balance sheet that Marathon and Riot have. So I understand there should be some discrepancy in their market caps. However, Marathon, Riot, and CleanSpark operationally are fairly similar. They all three have different business models. I would argue that probably Marathon's is the least profitable out of the three of them. And they're all three going to be in the same neighborhood of exahash. They'll be 1, 2, 3 in some order, in various orders throughout the year. Yet, those two companies are 5 or 6 times the market cap that this company is. So, to me, that does not make sense. I do think they should be more based on their balance sheet, but not 5 times more, not 6 times more. That to me doesn't make any sense. So I think that's why I continue to think there's a lot of upside in CleanSpark, not financial advice, just my personal opinion. George.
Hey, buddy. I think there's a ton. I think Marathon and CleanSpark and Riot. Those are my 3 favorite. By the
Marathon, CleanSpark, and Riot, those are the big guns. If they get to where they're going, they're going to be the top 3 producers. In fact, they could all 3 pass, for the longest time since they went public and before. Core Scientific was producing the most Bitcoin per month. They still are right now. But if Riot and Marathon and CleanSpark get to where they're going, they actually could pass Core Scientific, because Core Scientific has actually been shrinking a little bit by a little bit each month as they, get to a place where they can get themselves back up and running. They've had to sacrifice some of their exahash. So those will be the top 4 when and if Cypher can come out of Chapter 11. But for right now, from a value standpoint and strength, you've got Marathon, Riot, CleanSpark. Those are the big ones. But right behind it, you've got Cypher's got a lot of exahash coming online. Bitfarms finally just got themselves back into the game. They're going to be increasing their exahash. TerraWolf has a bunch of exahash coming online. Iris Energy has a bunch of exahash coming online. So there are companies that are growing. There are others that are stagnant for sure. But particularly the ones I just listed, in my opinion, those are the ones that are still in a decent growth mode.
I'm thinking of the chocolate I just ate. Sorry. It was yummy.
Now I want chocolate.
I just had a little.
I was going to say I'm not done losing weight, but that's the understatement of the year. I'm down 4 pounds.
Are you really?
4 down, 26 to go. And then I'll reassess and see what I got to do from there.
Just keep losing, buddy. Keep losing.
It's not easy. I got old. It's harder to lose weight, man. I couldn't gain weight. I could not gain when I was 25 years old, I could have had 10,000 calories a day. And by the way, I did a lot of days, and a lot of that was candy. And still, I could not put 1 ounce of weight on me, no matter what. So I'd like to bottle that up. I remember the days.
I remember it too.
Yeah, you should make fun of me.
Tom, what do you think? Good? What was the answer? What was your answer? And what was the answer on the percentage? What one?
For the Fed?
Rate hikes. Yeah.
25 basis points was runaway first place. 50 basis points was second place. And then 75 and 1% were distant.
I did 75%, by the way.
Oh, you did? You think 75 is coming at us? Okay.
I still think that there's going to be some activity. I think you get one. It's just, I think they normally overdo it, so that's the reason why I said it.
Darren said those companies growing are going to chop the stagnant trees down. Buy, as in BYE, like bye Cores, bye Hut, bye Bitfarms. So I don't agree with all of those. I do agree that, some of these companies need to keep up. But if you watch my Bitfarms video today, I'm just saying, I think I think they're the most improved. Well, along with Iris Energy. Those two companies have done the most to...
What about Wolf? Oh, my goodness.
TerraWolf massively turned their company around. Stronghold massively turned their company around. A lot of these companies were able to restructure or walk away from debt in a way that just fundamentally changed their companies from equations that were not going to work to equations that do work. So, yes, that is true. unfortunately, Bitfarms had to do it the hard way, although they did negotiate, tens of millions of dollars of their debt away by agreeing to pay some early. That was a part of how they got down from, I think they peaked out at $165 million in debt, and now they're somewhere just in the neighborhood of $20 million. So, they went from out of control to immaterial. And now, with the amount of Bitcoin that they mine each month, because they're operationally very strong, and they're cash flow positive, they may be able to do good things from here. And they're starting to grow again for the first time. Darren saying, Tom, Bitfarms didn't grow at a critical time between halvings. So Bitfarms was going to try to get to between 7.2 and 8.0 exahash in 2022, but almost nobody, with the exception, I think Cleanspark is the only company in the entire industry that actually hit their target in 2022, and they actually went past their target. Everybody else fell anywhere from short to well short. So I understand Bitfarms didn't do their thing, but they're still, fourth in Bitcoin mined almost every single month, and that's likely, with the plans that they have, I think they could still be the fourth largest Bitcoin miner by the end of the year. And that is judged by the number of Bitcoin that they mine each month. Also, they have a very good cost per coin. So their cost per coin is good. Cleanspark's cost per coin is good. Some are even better, but, they're below the magic number, and I'll disclose all that in my cost per coin video, which is coming out in the next 48 hours. But those are companies that have the right cost. They're operationally excellent, so I think it's too soon to write them off. And HUT is a big question mark. Obviously, they're in the middle of trying to change their entire organization around, so we don't know what comes of them.
Too bad we couldn't get some inside information over there.
Stephen English said, I'm surprised you're so high on a company relying on that South American country we can't name. Thanks for not naming that, Stephen. I don't know how much of the plans. So that's a tiny part of what they're doing right now. They're talking about that becoming a bigger and bigger part of what they do. So I am not sure. You're right. There is some question. However, they are looking for and adding growth in other places as well. And they slowed down their South American expansion, like from a sprint to less than a crawl. And now they're starting to crawl and walk a little bit. They're talking about getting to 18 megawatts. So, it's not like they're going crazy down there and it's contingent on that. But I hear you. That's definitely an area of concern that cannot be ignored. So that's a fair statement. Brent said, I'm on 1 meal a day plus a protein load after early afternoon weights. Very nice. Nicely done. Barry saying HUT will be third after the merge. So, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, HUT's a wild card. They could get to the end of this merger and be a monster. Duckman, Stronghold digital mining. Duckman, I like Stronghold. If they would pull back a little, I'd probably open a position in them. But that's another one where I feel like there was a window to get in, and I talked about it, and I talked about it, and I talked about it, but I didn't get in. And if we look at Stronghold, they have also pulled back a little bit, but so from their high last week, they're down almost 25%. So, that's a nice little pullback, but they are up, not as much as the other ones. Not as much as the other ones. Yeah, they're only up 137%. So I will tell you, now that you have said that, if they pull back a little more, if we get a pullback, I might jump into Stronghold. I'm not in them right now. The two that I added in 2023 are Wolf and Any, which is stock ticker ANY Sphere 3D. Those are the two that I added this year, and Stronghold is next on my list if I get a buying opportunity. Not financial advice. That's what I'm doing. You guys got to do what you do.
You got to do what you do.
Everybody's got to do what they do. And hopefully one of the things that they do is smash the like button, please, if you would. It helps the stream. Much appreciated.
Tom.
George.
Okay, I was waiting. Wasn't sure if you were there or not.
I'm here.
I really want to go after some high risk coins.
High risk.
Yeah, I really do. I don't know why.
I think you kind of told people one of your thought processes was to pick 10 higher risk coins, and if one of them hits, you probably end up winning big.
Well, I mean, if you can hit one that is 100x, right?
Right. If you hit one that 100x's, even if the rest go to 0, you still 10x'd everything.
And there's some good use case studies for some of these things.
There's some coins that are going to win, and at some point we're going to move into altcoin season. But my hesitation is I still think we're going to push one level higher with the Bitcoin dominance. I do think we have one more push to the upside for Bitcoin. Then maybe we have a cool off and we have altcoin season for a little while.
Do you think this time it goes over 100?
Bitcoin?
Yeah.
I don't think it does on this next, 90-day run. But I think, I think it's going over 100, sometime by the halving. We'll either be pushing 100 or at 100 or over 100, in my opinion. That's my price, and that's not too long from now. That's like 12 months from now. Let's say within 4 months of after the halving, I think we'll be at 100,000.
I can't get over how expensive real estate is in Atlanta.
You looking to buy?
I rent a building and it's like $5,000 a month, and it's just so aggravating. Oh, they asked me if this file and what is it? So they're selling the building, right? They asked me to sign a what is it called?
An assignment of lease?
An estoppel.
Oh.
An estoppel clause. You're saying that I don't have any claims against them. I'm like, you just flooded my office. I'm in the process of repairing it, and you owe me $35,000.
So definitely not signing the.
Yeah, I'm not signing that.
Well, they should just put the amount in it. They don't want to pay.
Gets me. So regardless, you're gonna love this. Regardless of how it happened, the other day, like about a month ago, we come in and the whole office is flooded, right? I don't care how it happened. I care less how it happened. It's flooded. I think it flooded because the guy who did plumbing didn't do the plumbing properly, and it rained really bad, and all the water washed in underneath the foundation and came up. So the whole thing flooded, right? So we have literally had to dry it out, clean it out, pull the carpet, drywall cut all the way around. And she's trying to tell me it's the city's fault. Well, I don't care. I don't own the building. I'm just
it's where one of your offices is. You rent a space in that building. Yes. It's their building. They flooded it. You're fixing it, and they don't.
Yeah. It's like, oh, sucks to be you.
That sounds like the way people do business now.
Yeah, and it's like, it's so aggravating.
Keith said there's a Gary Gensler coin. If that's not high risk, what is? Raven said Stronghold is literally 2 companies in one. So there's some truth to that. I think they're way undervalued. I definitely like George, and I won't speak for you, George. You can say it. I personally like that company a lot.
Stronghold's, I told you, I think that they should build the image around Stronghold. It's just that guy, you can't let him talk.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly and truly, they would be a stronger company if that was not their spokesperson.
That can be an issue. I have a few companies that I am not invested in because of that, and I think their stock gets held back because of that. Raven said they're doing something no one else is doing. They are. They're doing something no one else is doing. I think they're going to do it profitably. The only trouble they got in was they had a debt situation that was going to run them over because we went into a crypto winter. They just couldn't cash flow through their debt service. But that's all fixed now. Now, they had to scale way back, but they did fix the problem. They fixed the glitch.
This is a nice building. All right. It's hard to do a stream on Monday.
Have you had it, George?
I'm out. I've had it.
All right. Well, it's almost 6 o'clock where we are. Anybody else got any other thoughts? Want to thank, special thanks to, wait for it, so I don't say it wrong again. Well, first of all, FV702 for the super chat. Thank you very much.
Hang on. I got to answer. What road is your office? I'm in Doraville in, what is it? Oak Cliff Road. Oak Cliff Road. Don't go robbing it now, Crypto Craig.
Special thanks to Methodic, who I believe gave away 10 memberships today. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Much appreciated. And thanks to all the members, and thanks to everybody who joined in on today's stream. Again, if you have not watched the Bitfarms video, I think it's worth a watch. And for those of you that are members tonight, I will be posting the Palantir video. I'm just going to do a watch through after this stream is over and then post it. So that'll be up in a half hour.
We're going to miss it by 7, Tom. First stream in a long time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Man, 90
We're going backwards.
All right. Well,
no one likes crypto anymore.
That's it. We got to find a new space. We'll take suggestions. See you guys. All right. Thank you. Thanks again, everybody. Have a great night. And we'll see the members on the members only live stream tomorrow. If you are not a member and you want to be, then wait, what happened? I'm just putting a link in the chat. So anybody interested, you can join up. It's $5 a month. It's much appreciated. It does help because for whatever reason, and I saw another YouTuber doing their, they were actually talking about whether or not they were going to invest in Google, and they're heavily invested in Google. And because they're a big YouTuber, they have some insight that ad revenue is way, way, way down. So I'm interested to see, and Google, let me go to the chart, because the reason that he was talking about that was Alphabet. So they're called Alphabet now, but tomorrow after the market closes,
welcome to Talking
Microsoft and Google report. And I'll tell you something, if Google reports that they had strong ad revenue, then there's going to be an awful lot of YouTubers that are extremely mad, because ad revenues has, not that, you know, I'm a very small channel and I get next to nothing anyway, but I can see it's off drastically. Crypto Craig Miller Miner, welcome to the Talkin' Investing Squad. Thank you for joining. Much appreciated. So you can join us tomorrow on the live stream. The next live chat, I think, is going to be, I think we'll do one on Wednesday. So I will post a message between now and then saying exactly when the next live chat is. So thank you so much, everybody. Have a fantastic night. Go Bitcoin.